You are now taking a live look at New York City, 18 years after the 9/11 terrorist attacks on the World Trade Center. As we look at the city's skyline almost 2 decades later, the Twin Towers no longer dominate. More than 2,300 people and 400 first responders were killed there when the towers collapsed. As people all over the country are remembering the September 11th attacks on what is now the 18th anniversary, here at home, first responders paused for a moment of silence to remember the thousands of people who lost their lives that day. Earlier today, Huntsville Police and Fire, along with Huntsville Emergency Medical Services and the HPD Honor Guard, took part in the service. Right now, the flag is lowered to half-staff outside of the Huntsville Police West Precinct and Huntsville Fire Station number 1. WAAY 31's Rodneyah Ross spent the morning there talking to first responders who recalled when our country was under attack.
Huntsville Fire, Police, and HIMSI all gathered here at the flagpole for a moment of silence. And at 7:46, the exact time that first plane hit the World Trade Center, they set off all the lights and sirens on the vehicles to honor the first responders who ran toward danger.
When I came into duty, the first plane had just hit the first tower, and I stood there with a captain that I was relieving for the day, and the second plane hit.
Chief Mac McFarland remembers the September 11th attacks clear as day, and that's why he came up with the idea to have a ceremony every year to remember those who lost their lives.
That day in New York, you could hear nothing but sirens of all responding units.
And it's a day that has forever touched the lives of first responders and civilians across the country. Captain Mike Izzo with the Huntsville Police Department is from New York and even used to work for the New York Police Department. Izzo was a sergeant here in Huntsville when the attacks happened, but his mom still lived in New York and called him before the first tower came down.
When your mother's on the phone telling you, you know, we're under attack, I don't know what's going on, but the towers are going to go down.
Izzo lost friends who worked for both NYPD and the New York Fire Department when they responded to those attacks that day. And 18 years later, there are firefighters still dying from responding to the World Trade Center, which is why all first responders I talked to today said it's important to never forget 9/11.
Because of diseases that they contracted going to this event. So the effects of 9/11 is still with all of us when we see these people die and the diseases that they're having to face.
In Huntsville, Rodneyah Ross, WAAY 31 News.
Huntsville Mayor Tommy Battle was also at that ceremony this morning.